In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to change the number of rings before an incoming call will go to voicemail. This works with call forward no answer and no answer greeting. I'm going to set this up in the Clearspan web portal. For this scenario, I have an end user that is using the simultaneous ringing service, meaning when their desk phone rings, they want another phone to ring also. In this case, it's their mobile phone. This scenario would also apply to the Clearspan Anywhere service. The problem is that sometimes my user can't answer their mobile phone within the default number of rings, which is usually 3. So in this tutorial, I'm going to increase the number of rings from 3 rings to 5 rings before an incoming call is forwarded to voicemail. There is a risk whenever you increase the number of rings and you are using a service that rings other phones. If those phones have voicemail that pick up before your office messaging system picks up, your voicemails could be left on that voicemail system, for example, your mobile phone messaging system. If you are using services such as simultaneous ringing or Clearspan Anywhere, you may want to enable the option Answer Confirmation Required. This option will prevent incoming calls from connecting to the alternate phone's voicemail system. Answer Confirmation Required simply requires the user to press a keypad number before the incoming call will connect to the mobile or alternate phone. So here's my goal. My user is Rachel Thomas. Her phone number is 469-365-3018. She is in the Dallas office group, and I want to change her ring settings from 3 rings to 5 rings. From the main menu, click on Profile. Then click on Users. And to narrow my search results, I'll search by last name, Thomas. To the right, I will click on Edit. The first step is to verify this user has voicemail. We can verify this information in the messaging options. Click on Voice Management. Here I can see voice messaging is set to on, and the Send Unanswered Calls to Voicemail checkbox is checked and active. So let's move on and change the number of rings before an incoming call goes to voicemail. There are actually 2 places we can change this: incoming calls and messaging. We'll look at incoming calls first. Under Incoming Calls, Basic, click on Call Forward No Answer. Unlike other fields, this actually has 2 independent actions: Call Forward No Answer on or off, and number of rings. When voicemail has been set up, the Call Forward No Answer is actually behind the scenes being used to determine the number of rings before an unanswered call is forwarded to voicemail. The Call Forward No Answer and Calls Forward to Phone Number /SIP URI fields you see here, if turned on, are used to override the call forward setting. Think of it this way. If you have voicemail, Call Forward No Answer will be set to off, and the number of rings will determine when the call is forwarded to voicemail. If you want to manually activate Call Forward No Answer, then you would turn Call Forward No Answer on and add a phone number in the Calls Forward to Phone Number field. If you manually turn this on, incoming calls will not go to voicemail. They will go to the number you manually entered in the Calls Forward to Phone Number field. The second action is the Rings Before Forwarding. This action is independent and works with either voicemail or the override. So if I'm using voicemail, the Call Forward No Answer would be set to off. It doesn't matter what's in the Calls to Phone Number field. And the Ring Before Forwarding would control how many rings before the incoming caller is forwarded to voicemail. My current user has 3 rings and would like to have 5 rings before calls forward to voicemail. From the drop-down list, I will select 5. As soon as I click on Apply, or the OK button, the new settings will take effect. The second place that we can change the number of rings is under Messaging. Then click on Greetings. And under the No Answer Greeting section, you will see the field Number of Rings Before Greeting. You can see here, it reflects the change we just made under Incoming Calls and Call Forward No Answer. So both locations will update the number of rings before an unanswered incoming call will forward to voicemail. Again, it doesn't matter which place you want to change the number of rings, either field will update the other. This completes this tutorial on how to change the number of rings for voicemail and Call Forward No Answer.